Hi there! What you're about to listen to is the very first episode of our Violent Wild World. The first 4 episodes of the podcast were initially recorded in January of 2019. And trust me, we had planned for release much sooner than we did. But we were college students at the time, so we just kept pushing off making more until now. Oops. That's just how the college life is, so we're sorry. But hey, they're here now. Please note that we make a lot of references topical to January of 2019 during these episodes, and they're mostly still relevant, we hope, so please don't mind that. Thank you so much to Oswald, aka Donut, for our stellar cover art, and thank you so much to Nora, aka Brighton, for our jammin' theme music. These pieces were not created at the time of the recording of the initial 4 episodes, so we didn't get around to properly thanking our amazing friends for their contributions to this podcast. So we'd like to thank you now. And trust us, we're going to make a regular habit from here on out to thank you guys. So thank you. I know. You're here for the podcast, not for me rattling on about housekeeping stuff. I won't keep you much longer, I promise. But Felicia and I just want to give our sincerest gratitude for you listening to our humble little show. We look so incredibly forward to producing more episodes for you. So with that, let's get on with the show. Please enjoy. And thank you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the inaugural episode of a brand new podcast. Welcome to our Violent Wild World, a podcast where myself and my lovely female co-host, please say your name.
I'm Felisia. And
I'm Austin.
And our podcast is all about weird facts about this big floating rock in space that we call Earth.
Yes, we are your experts for the next
however long we do this.
Yes, that's a good way of putting it. And we will be giving you approximately about 2 to 3 facts each per episode from each of us.
That, for y'all who are bad at math, is 4 to 6 facts total.
I mean, I guess if our audience is just Bobbies, sure.
Listen.
Then they need the math lesson.
Some people out there only have 2 brain cells, and if one of them is employed in listening to and understanding this podcast, let's cut them a break and do the math so that they can retain that other second brain cell, okay?
Fine, we'll be considerate to those people, I suppose.
Too late, I already did it.
Alright, anyways, we will be having themes for each episode, except for this very inaugural episode in which we will be just doing random facts with no topic. Would you care to start us off?
I would care to start us off. The man who discovered ibuprofen actually did so as an alternative to aspirin. They're not the same thing. Did not know that. Anyway, the guy who led the team that discovered ibuprofen was named Stuart Adams, and he just passed away on January 30th.
Wow, way to start off our podcast. Good old death.
Okay, but also ibuprofen, which is like super important for anybody who has a uterus. I mean, come on. Uterus people, would you live through cramps without ibuprofen? The answer is no.
Really gotta face our human mortality in this very first episode. Good. But I always kind of figured that they were different. I mean, they have similar effects.
Growing up, I was always told that, like, aspirin and ibuprofen are the same thing. Like, oh, take an aspirin meant take an ibuprofen.
I mean, they are somewhat synonymous. I mean, again, they have similar effects. That's given.
They actually do practically the same thing. except aspirin is a little bit better for your heart than ibuprofen.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's based on the chemical properties of both of them. So they're both technically acids.
Okay.
But ibuprofen has things a little bit arranged differently. So I did write down the IUPAC names, or the IPAC names. IUPAC names, which is like the official chemistry naming system. Not that anybody is going to know what this means, but ibuprofen is technically isobutyl phenylpropanoic acid.
I literally have no idea what those words mean except
Okay, I'll break it
acid.
down for you. Isobutyl is a specific group that is 4 carbons arranged in, it's 1 carbon with 3 carbons coming off of it. And that middle carbon can be connected to something else. That's an isobutyl group. A phenyl group
Okay.
is a benzene ring. It's the little hexagon.
Little weedy itty bitty hexagon.
You say little itty bitty hexagon, but it's like one of the most important molecules in chemistry.
You know, it's just Weedle.
And also a precursor to TNT.
It's Weedle.
It is Weedle.
But
It's super
very
important. And then propanoic acid just means that it is an acid that has 3 carbons in its main chain.
Okay.
So that's ibuprofen. It's relatively long as far as branched molecules go. Not as long as like some cancer drugs, which can have up to like 50 carbons in them. Yeah, cancer drugs are insane.
So would I be wrong when I say that ibuprofen is a lanky boy?
A little bit, only because the 2 groups that are on it, the isobutyl and the phenyl group, are not lanky. They're a whole bunch of stuff all like squished into into a lot of space. So you could say that it's a dense boy.
So they're a thick boy. Ibuprofen is thick, confirmed.
This is true, but it is proportionally thick because it is as wide as it is long, or at least close to it. So
it's a square then.
it's not a square.
It's just a nice.
It's not a square.
boy.
It's not a square
It's
boy.
a square boy.
It's more like a
Look-
barbell.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I get ya.
Are you ready for this? Aspirins.
Honestly, considering the fact that we've already diagnosed ibuprofen with thickness, no. But just go for it.
Okay. Aspirin is 2-acetoxybenzoic acid. Acetoxy is a very specific name of a thing. So, functional
Name of a
group.
thing.
Functional group. The acet sounds like, do you want to guess what common chemical it sounds like?
Acetosis?
That is not a chemical, honey. I was going for acetone.
Look, I am not the chemist here, and I'd like to point out that I was kind of okay at chemistry in high school. I mean, I got 2 A's and 2 B's.
Okay,
but,
this is fair.
In comparison to like my biology and my forensic skills, no, don't even compare.
I thought you might recognize acetone from being a common ingredient in nail polish remover.
Oh, now it's clicking with me.
Yeah.
Now I remember that.
So acetone is a very specific chemical that has 2 carbons and some fancy connections to oxygens. I won't get really deep into it because this is not a science podcast. But so the 2-acetoxy means that it has the acetoxy functional, or the acetoxy group on it, and the 2 means that it is on the second carbon atom in the benzene ring. There are 6 carbon atoms. What's on the first carbon atom? It's the acid group. So aspirin is actually a lot smaller than ibuprofen as far as chemicals go. It is still
So we got
a thick boy, but it's tiny.
We got a thick boy and a plump boy.
True. So, part of the reason why the size is important is in your neural pathways. So the problem with aspirin is that it likes to attach to a lot of different things in your brain. Hence why it has a lot of different purposes. Anti-swelling, anti-fever, heart medication. It does a whole bunch of stuff because it's tiny and can fit in a lot of spaces in your brain.
That's cool. Okay, that's neat.
Ibuprofen cannot fit in all the spaces that aspirin can because it's bigger. So it's more specialized.
That's a life lesson for you out there, kids. If you are small, you are more useful.
Take it from me, your local 5'2".
This is in fact true. I can confirm this. Can you crawl into like a cupboard?
Oh, hell yeah. I am the queen of hide and seek. Do not tempt me.
That's really adorable.
If there is nothing under your... Okay, obviously, I run into some issues if you have things in the cupboard, but I can fit myself into a cupboard.
You're not like Cat. You are not...
I am not liquid.
You are not liquid. You are not liquid Felicia.
So if you have shelves or like pots or, I don't know, like a big bag of toilet paper under your sink, there's no way I'm fitting under there. But like if you cleared all that junk out there and it was just the sink guts, I could totally fit under there.
The sink guts?
Yeah, you know, the pipes that run at...
Yeah, yes, but I've never heard it referred to as the sink gut.
Well, now you have.
This makes me think that my sink is alive, and that's not a good thing. I have fed my sink from very, very bad things.
But did it have a garbage disposal when you fed it those bad things?
Unfortunately, the ones here do not have garbage disposals.
So you're feeding it junk food. It's fine.
I don't want my pipes to get fatty. I'm literally going to kill my sink by feeding it junk food and having it have a heart attack.
Okay, good news though. You can buy sink aspirin to clear all that junk out of your sink's guts. That is not how aspirin works. Aspirin does not clear stuff out of your guts. That would be closer to a laxative. You need to feed your sink a laxative.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I guess Drano's just the sink laxative, I guess.
Oh, I wasn't thinking of Drano. I was thinking of those little, like, lemon-scented balls that you can drop in your sink. Oh, no, I think those are for garbage disposals. Never mind.
What? I have no idea what you're talking about. I have never
Yeah, they're
seen
like
one of
little
those.
jelly balls that you drop in your sink to make it smell nice.
Oh, okay. Fair.
But I think it might just be for garbage disposals because the garbage disposal is supposed to, like, rip up the jelly or whatnot. Anyway, look in your local store.
This is not a sponsored podcast.
This is not a sponsored podcast, so I am not going to mention what store. Just go to your local store.
We are not being paid by Drano or the people that make the lemon bombs.
I can't even remember the name, so, like, if you were paying us, whoops, that was a mistake, but you're not. Oops. No, we don't. No, we're not getting paid. Yet.
Not yet.
Okay, well, you want to give me your first thing?
Yeah. Thank you for sharing, by the way.
Oh, thanks to the people at Wikipedia who put together all of the articles, because they will be the reason I have my first 2 facts.
Yeah, that's valid. My fact also comes from Wikipedia.
God bless Wikipedia.
God bless Wikipedia, but I should also mention that this has actual articles documenting this.
I mean, I'm sure there were actual
Fuck
articles on the
Fuck you,
Wikipedia.
teachers.
I just, didn't go to the actual sources because that was too much work.
Of course, I understand that.
Y'all can go and look at all the fancy research papers yourself.
I understand that, but I'm just trying to tease teachers who would always say, "Oh, you can't use Wikipedia as a source because it's not reputable." But then it's like, it's got
Hey kids, that's a lie.
sources on what it's documenting. Yeah, hey kids, don't listen to your teachers. Fucking use Wikipedia. You just gotta be smart about it.
Basically, you can use Wikipedia. Just anytime you see one of those floaty blue numbers, actually click on it and use whatever it gives you as your source. Because Wikipedia articles source their stuff. So just like you can use Wikipedia, just like use Wikipedia sources to come to the same conclusion as Wikipedia.
Yeah, say fuck you to the man.
And also say fuck you to academic articles because, listen, kids, I've read a lot of academic articles, and I'm sorry.
They're hell.
I've read them. I've written one for. Actually, I've written a few for a class. They suck. Okay, nobody actually sounds as smart as they are in a paper. I can promise you.
No, they don't.
Kids, please remember that scientific papers are not written by one singular person. They are a combination effort, so do not get daunted when you see that there are 8 million pages in a scientific article and you want to go into science and you're like, oh my god, I could never write that much. Listen, you don't have to. At least half of that article is just tables and graphs, and another quarter is just your references. This was my PSA for children who like science.
Thank you.
I don't know why I say children. Children should not be listening to our podcast. We say fuck.
We say fuck. I think that was the very first F-bomb of the entire podcast.
No, you said it earlier.
So, you just... Did I?
Yep, you did.
Yeah, I did. Oh, yeah. I totally did. Oops. All right, here's my fact. So, on February 11th, 2013, I'm going to take you back here. We're gonna go back to those days.
What was I doing in 2013?
We were in high school.
Okay, sophomore year.
This is freshman year.
No, freshman year, February. Okay.
Yes, okay. On February 11th, 2013, 4 stations in Montana, Michigan, and New Mexico were hacked to used the emergency alert system to warn of a zombie invasion where dead bodies were rising from their graves. Imagine being at home. You're just watching television, and suddenly, this is an alert of the emergency alert system. There are dead bodies rising from their graves. Please seek shelter. How would you react to that?
Well, you see, I'd probably freak out, but also, I live on the 3rd floor of an apartment building where there's absolutely nothing to climb to get to my windows, and also, I have a wooden door with some pretty good hinges, so that'd be okay, probably. But also, there have been so many family pranks based on this. Like, there have been so many videos of people who go to get, their wisdom teeth removed or something, and while they're high on the drugs from the surgery, their entire family fakes a zombie apocalypse. So, they pretend to be playing things on the radio and then have a quote-unquote emergency broadcast, unquote. I already said quote-unquote. Come on and, say, oh my god, the zombies are real. Things are rising from the graves. And then, of course, they call their parents, freaking out, oh my god, did you hear? And then they go home and help load up the car and drive far away because, oh my god, there are zombies. There's 8 million YouTube videos where families pull this exact prank, and frankly, people freak the heck out. Because number one, they're hyped up on drugs, so
Of course they will.
oh my god, everything seems... Right, these are people who have come back from getting wisdom teeth surgery. You're hyped up on laughing gas and pain meds.
And suddenly the world is ending.
Right. Well, and in one that I watched, oh god, it had to be like a year ago. In one that I watched, it was pulled off so flawlessly that I didn't even think that it was faked.
What?
The only reason that I knew that it was faked was because they said that it was, like, the description on Facebook or whatever was, this family pulled off a fake zombie apocalypse after their sister got her wisdom teeth out. Like, legit, it was that well pulled off. Like, the pre-recorded emergency message was absolutely smooth and flawless integration with the radio. That everybody responded with enough emotion that made me believe that they were freaking out because there was a zombie apocalypse. Like, it was extremely high quality pranking.
Babe, do you believe in zombies?
Please explain. Because you do know that there is a fungus that literally zombifies like ants and stuff, right?
Yeah, no, I know that. I mean, like, that's literally what The Last of Us is based off of. I get it. That fungus exists. But what I'm saying is that there's a reason why it hasn't attached to human bodies. It's too damn weak.
For now, but I am a scientist, and there are some people working... But I keep up on science, and I do know that science will do some weird things, and I am telling you that it is not above scientists to accidentally create a zombie virus. It would not be the first time we accidentally created a super virus.
I think there's ethics that need to be questioned before they make that.
You do know that there's like
there's
like an entire section of the government that literally makes super viruses so that we can figure out how to beat them, but they do make the super virus, and it's super dangerous because if anything gets out, everyone dies. The CDC actually does work where they make the viruses extra bad so that they can combat them before they actually get extra bad.
Oh, I thought that was only in fiction.
I hate to disappoint you.
But I guess it's real.
But that's part of what, like, flu shots and stuff are, is they've made...
Okay, that's fair.
Well, actually, flu shots are, we've made predictions on what we think the flus will mutate like this year. It may or may not work. Usually does. But there is always a small percentage that it doesn't. Like 2 years ago, they guessed like the wrong type of bird flu. It did not go well.
Yeah, no, I remember
they
that.
did the flu shot did contain a bird flu, but they predicted the wrong type of bird flu that would be prominent that year, and so it did nothing. But oops. No, science is weird, and I realize now that I've gone on a science rant for about half an hour. Oops.
I mean, that's your field. That's what you like. That's valid.
This is true, but also I did kind of hijack your fact, so I'm sorry. But yeah, yep, nope, did they say why they hacked and decided to do a zombie apocalypse?
I mean, that's what people get scared about. I think World War Z came out in 2013. It makes sense. That's pure zombie hype right there.
This is true. I read part of that. I didn't finish.
God.
And I never saw the movie.
It's Brad Pitt, right? Brad Pitt's in that movie, right?
I think so. The book is actually, based on things that I heard, the book is way better.
Yeah.
I think the book's format lends itself really well to how it's telling it. That doesn't exactly carry over in a movie.
Yeah, no, that's usually just how books are. Book to movie adaptations are.
This is true. The only format that even came, because World War Z is told, of course, for people who don't know, in a series of scientific papers, research, letters, basically any sort of communication from one party to another surrounding this zombie apocalypse.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it is. And so the only thing that's ever really come close to that sort of format, I think, would be like a fake documentary type thing where they make it look like it's one of those shaky camera, like a Ghost
Found
Adventures.
footage.
Yeah. What did you say?
The official term for that genre is called found footage.
Found footage, like a found footage type thing, or that recent movie that has, oh gosh, what is it called?
What's it like? What's the movie like?
Okay, it's the guy who plays Sulu from the Star Trek reboots on a computer, and his daughter's gone missing. Searching, yes. Searching also probably came a little closer, because I feel like a modern adaptation of World War Z would probably have a lot of research notes. So a lot of what some people do to take research notes is literally either they'll use found footage, like combination of the found footage and that computer type vibe. Research notes are sometimes taken where you just videotape yourself walking around your lab and talking to yourself.
Yeah.
So that you get all your stuff. Well, actually, normally it's you just record yourself walking around and talking to yourself. There's no video component involved. But for a movie, for it to work, you'd need the video component, obviously.
So, like, speaking of, like, the video component, like, so, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it, the very climax of the movie...
I haven't seen it.
Do you care?
Is this Searching?
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I'm talking about World War Z.
Oh, no, I don't care.
Yeah, spoiler alert for World War Z. I'm not going to talk about Searching, but Searching's a good movie. Anyways, World War Z's climax has Brad Pitt. He's having to find what makes people invisible to the zombies.
I don't remember that part of the book.
Yeah, you probably don't. And in order to find which one it is, he's having to... There's scientists in another room that only have video feed of him. They can't speak to him. So what they do is that they have the camera nod yes or stay still no if he has the right virus to inject himself with. And that's what I'm trying to say is related. But I remember this scene, and I just remember the product placement in it, because after he gets injected with the right disease, he just walks past all these zombies, goes to a Pepsi machine, smacks it, and gets a Pepsi, and he just sits down, and for a solid minute, it's just him drinking the fucking Pepsi, and it's hilarious to me. Oh yeah, I just survived the zombie apocalypse. I am the savior. Gotta drink a Pepsi. Lurk, lurk, lurk.
This is the world's best way to test if I'm really invisible. Let me just go get a Pepsi and drink it in the hallway where everyone can see the Pepsi can and the Pepsi machine. Oh my god.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Heads up, folks. We do have an entire episode planned just for ridiculous product placements. So
we will come
prepare
back to
to hear more about oddly placed Pepsi machines.
God.
Good.
Pepsi is like the one fucking company that's actually willing to give product placement everywhere. That's just what I've noticed.
Baskin Robbins had product placement in Ant-Man and the Wasp, or in Ant-Man.
You're right. You are in fact correct.
Also, McDonald's, I think, has had quite a few product placements.
I don't know about that. I can't remember off the top of my... Oh! Spy Kids! We'll come back to this, though. That's another episode. I think it's time for your fact.
Is it time for me? Okay.
Yes.
Hi, Austin.
What's up?
Do you want to go to hell?
What kind of question is that?
Specifically, would you like to go to the gates of hell?
Are we talking about that one town that's literally named Hell?
We are not. In fact, I was not talking about Hell's Gate, Montana. No.
Okay.
I was talking about the 14 different channels, rivers, and gaps named Hell's Gate that are just in the U.S. This is not including the 2 different Hell's Gates islands there are, or any of the Hell's Gate parks that exist internationally. It does not include Hell's Gate in Death Valley, or Hell's Canyon in the Pacific Northwest, or Hell Gate Canyon in Oregon, or Hell's Gate State Park in Idaho, and yes, it does not include the town Hell's Gate, Montana.
Why are there so many portals to hell?
I don't know, but they're also mostly rivers or bodies, streams of water.
Are we sure Hell's Gate isn't necessarily just a bad translation of the River Styx? Because like that's a pretty solid, not necessarily equivalent, but like when you think about it, and if you're just
it's probably an indigenous a bad translation from
you're right.
in the indigenous cultures. I did notice, thanks Wikipedia for noting where they all are.
Thanks Wikipedia.
Most of them are out west. The exception being there is a Hell's Gate in New York.
I guess there's just a portal to hell in New York.
No one's surprised.
Well, no, I'm surprised that there's only one. Cause like if you're gonna say that New York deserves more Hell's Gates, like why is there only one then? Why is there only one portal to hell?
There's only one Hell's Gate, but there's more than one Hell's Kitchen, I'm pretty sure.
That was cute, but I don't think Gordon Ramsay is in fact the devil himself.
Depending on who you ask.
I guess, but like all Gordon Ramsay's ever done is give constructive criticism, even if it's like harsh. It's still fair.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know if we could call it constructive criticism, because he has
kind of constructive.
Well,
it builds character.
It does build character, and the reason why I don't know that we could say it is always constructive is because I've watched a lot of Kitchen Nightmares. And what he yells is not always so nice, but it is necessary because the restaurant owners are absolute idiots with more hubris than a Greek tragedy hero.
Good. Okay.
The Kitchen Nightmares in the UK and his Top Chef-like show. What is it called? I have no idea. But his cooking competition show, he's not mean and doesn't yell.
Oh, you're right. And like on the kids version, he's also like super sweet.
He also has children, and that's why he's like extra sweet on the children's version of his competition cooking show. He does also have an adult version, which he is also very kind on. But on the children's version, he's like extra gentle, and he makes sure to help them because, again, they are like 10, and he has children.
Hey, can we just call this version unofficially Hell's Kitchen Jr.?
No, because Hell's Kitchen, the mechanics of it are dependent on there being 2 teams, and his junior's cooking show is a free-for-all. There are no teams. It's every child for themselves.
Okay, but like still, I think that's a pretty funny name.
It is.
Hell's Kitchen
Junior. I would watch that. I would watch that. But no, I don't think that's an accurate name. But there's a lot of places in the world named Hell's Gate. A lot of them are in the West. There's also some stuff in the Caribbean. And Africa.
So I'm assuming.
And a few.
Really? Where in Africa?
Okay, hang on. Let me pull up my
question.
Wikipedia article. Kenya.
Okay, I don't know about any.
There's a Hell's Gate National Park in Kenya.
I don't know if there's any history of colonialism in Kenya, but I mean, if there is, that probably explains why it's called Hell's Gate.
Yeah, the biggest number of places named the Hell's Gate are in the U.S.
Of course, Christianville.
Yeah. So in Antarctica, there is one.
What?
Hell's Gate Moraine in Victoria Land, Antarctica.
Oh my god. So, wait a second here. We have to back up for just a moment. There's a Hell's Gate in Antarctica. Is this like a different portal to a different layer of hell? Is this the portal to the layer of hell that's frozen over?
Yes.
Are all the other ones portals to the actual burning hell that Christianity likes to portray? And then this one, this single gate, takes you to an alternate reality
Dante's hell
where it's frozen over. It's just Dante's hell. We've done it. We've discovered Dante's Inferno.
You might be correct, because Hell's Gate Moraine, also according to Wikipedia, God bless Wikipedia, a moraine is a bunch of glacial debris, so it's like chunks of ice and rock and stuff.
I can't believe it. We've really done it. We've actually found hell. We have not found just one hell. We have found two different versions of hell in the same day. This is a proud moment. Wow. First we go from talking about our Valiant Wild World to now our Valiant Wild Hell. Fantastic. That's it. We're changing the podcast name,
No, we're not
y'all.
changing the podcast. We already have the social media.
Welcome to hell. Maybe that's what we'll have it Halloween episode.
Welcome
Our
to
Valiant
hell.
Wild Hell. Welcome to our Valiant Wild Hell.
I love it. But yeah, so
God.
there's a whole bunch of places named Hell's Gate, mostly in the west of the U.S., more than literally any other country. Even Canada only has 2 things that are named Hell's Gate.
I mean, to be fair, the Canadians don't deserve hell.
Most of them, no.
Yeah, most of them, you are correct.
So yeah, it's Hell's Gate. You want to give me your second thing?
Yes, I would. All right. Thank you to Aidan Lewis of the BBC.com. And thank you to A Legal Queer of R Today I Learned. Jaywalking is illegal in the United States, as in the 1920s, the auto industry began circulating propaganda across the country in an attempt to shift the blame from pedestrian casualties. Shift the blame of pedestrian casualties to pedestrians instead of the driver. I also have to say this: the propaganda included hiring clowns to portray jaywalkers as imbeciles. There's actual clown propaganda in United States history.
Hi everyone, sorry, the podcast is canceled, America is deleted, and I'm going to live underneath a rock.
What? You can't handle the clown propaganda?
No, I cannot.
handle-
I can handle war propaganda. I can handle literally any other type of propaganda, but I draw the line at clown propaganda. Okay, there are some things a woman cannot stand for.
You know what? That's fair. I couldn't believe it when I read it as well, but no, that actually happened.
I knew that jaywalking was illegal. Not that you would guess, living on, near, or anywhere close to a major city or college campus.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I knew it was illegal, which is part of the reason why I always walk in the crosswalk unless I'm, like, really in a rush somewhere. Because if you're jaywalking when they hit you, your family can't collect the civil suit money.
Well, that's the big thing here. I hate that the auto industry decided, we're not going to get sued. We're going to make the blame on the jaywalkers.
Well, to be fair, I mean, can you really say the auto industry?
Yes, because it's literally the auto industry.
Okay, then I have a
did
question.
this.
Why was the auto industry getting sued for things individual drivers were doing? Is it just a big PR thing where it's like, oh no, people are running over other people in our cars?
It was a media thing, yeah.
Okay.
It was.
That
they
makes
weren't
more
actually
sense
sued.
because I was like,
I shouldn't. I apologize. They weren't actually getting sued. It was just bad press.
okay. That's what I was a little confused because I'm like, now what court actually lets someone straight up have their defense be, well, yeah, I was driving the car when I hit him, but, like, it was the car's fault? Ah, yes, well, Ford must now pay out your entire life rent and
Life
support
rent?
your family. Sorry, I did not. This is not a good goof.
We have to pay rent to our individual gods, or I guess this is a benefit of atheism. You don't need to pay rent on Earth. I guess those are the rules, apparently.
Sorry, landlord, I can't pay my rent. I'm an atheist.
Sorry, landlord, I can't pay my rent. I've already paid it to Jesus. God.
Signs start going up. Will not rent to Christians. But then, of course, the Christians go on another crusade.
Oh God, they would, wouldn't they?
This is discrimination! Firing people because they're gay is also discrimination, Janice. Yes, but this is different. I'm being discriminated against for being Christian. I'm just refused to bake heathens a cake. That's discrimination, Janice. That's my opinion!
I get your point, and your point is hilarious, but you can't discriminate against Christians. Religion is a protected class.
This is true.
But no, it
You're correct. My entire premise is completely wrong.
No, not necessarily. No, it is in fact illegal to discriminate against religion, but you do have a point that it is dumb that in still tons of states you can be fired for being a different gender, not having a gender, having a different sexuality than heterosexuality. It is dumb. However, the reverse is actually true as well. You could kick someone out for being heterosexual.
And if it's an LGBT space, I fully support you. Unless they may be heterosexual, but are they LGBT in the romantic orientation? That's when I have an issue with heterosexuals being kicked out of it. I understand. It's a huge thing, guys.
Well, what I'm just trying to say here is that because the legality in many states is that discrimination against sexuality is still legal, you can be discriminated for being heterosexual. You can get kicked out, and as such, you'd think that they would actually want to do something about that.
But they don't. Well, they do.
But they don't.
They do. They want access to the LGBTQ spaces, but they don't want to let the LGBTQs into
their spaces. Gotta love majority privilege.
Yeah. You can actually be discriminated against if you're heterosexual if you present as a female. It's illegal for them to ask you if you have plans to get married or have children. But oftentimes, they being companies, won't hire women because they don't want to deal with having to get someone for their maternity leave.
Yeah, and that's bullshit.
And or having to deal with hiring someone new in 2 years because you had a baby and realized that you want to be a stay-at-home mom now. It's technically illegal, but they just come up with different reasons why not to hire you.
Yeah, and that's awful. That's awful, but I think we should probably move away from this just because this is getting a little sad. It's
I would love to, except for my third thing.
Is your third thing actually related to this?
Slightly, yes.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
Thank you to Rachel Lubitz at Mike.com for writing the article I based most of my fact on, entitled The Weird, Complicated, Sexist History of Pockets.
Oh, shit! Are we talking about how...
Women's pockets are non-existent?
Yeah.
We certainly fucking are. And do you want to know what I found out?
Hell yeah, let's rip down the patriarchy. Go ahead.
Okay. Do you want to guess when the first pockets actually were a thing? And this can be for either men or women. When do you think the first pockets actually started to be a thing?
I'm gonna guess anywhere between 1880 and 1910.
Earlier.
1850.
Earlier.
Oh my god, alright, 1775. Did I actually?
What did you say? Sorry, it cut out.
Oh. You're silent for a moment. I thought it told me that I guessed it correctly. I said 1775.
Earlier.
Oh my god. Alright, I'm just gonna say when Jesus was born, they invented the pockets.
1 AD was not
What?
when pockets were invented.
Oh my god! I was almost right!
Okay, no, it's 1600 was the first time that
Oh.
pockets appeared in men's dresswear. The first pockets for females did not come until the end of the 17th century. And they weren't actually pockets. They were like little purse fanny packs that you would wear over your underdress, but under your regular dress. So they would be like two big giant pockets attached on a string that you would tie around your waist and then put your dress over. So if you wanted to put stuff in your pockets, you had to look a little weird and shove your hands under the waist of your dress. These pockets disappeared. They only lasted until the end of the 18th century. Do you want to guess why they disappeared?
I honestly have no clue. Why?
Fashion began to focus on a more slimming figure. So in the 18th century, we transferred over from the big fancy ball gowns to the big style was the slimmer Grecian empire style waists where they were closer to your actual like waist instead of the big poofy ball gown things with the crinolines and the hoop skirts. And anyway, so after that, when fashion became more about slimming, people moved from pockets to coin purses. Do you want to know when pockets came around the second time?
1960.
You were close. It's the 1900s. Prior to the Great War, when women wore pants for the very first time again. So when women began to wear pants, we got pockets again because we were wearing men's pants.
Yeah.
Do you want to guess when pockets disappeared?
Women and the mysterious case of the missing pockets.
Yep, you're correct. Do you want to guess when pockets disappeared the second time?
1950?
The 1990s.
Oh my god, really?
The rise of the designer purse was the
okay.
pocket's demise. Again, fashion became more slimming, and the option was presented as having a purse. And pockets are kind of sort of making a slow comeback now. We're seeing them in a lot of pants are slowly getting more functional pockets. Stars on the red carpet are sewing pockets into their dresses. But there's still a huge problem in pocket and even purse size now hasn't kept up. So most women's pockets aren't big enough to even hold a state-issued ID. You can't even hold your driver's license in your pockets.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. Well, the problem is since cell phones have been slowly getting bigger and bigger, you can't exactly hold your phone in your purse either, and you certainly can't fit it in your pocket like, oh, girl, forget it. It's going to be the iPhone bending all over again. Or your phone's going to take a backflip out of your pocket while you're sitting down to pee, and it's just going to right into the toilet, and there goes like $800. Girl, trust me, it ain't worth it. But purses haven't exactly kept up with size either. You can't fit a phone with a case in most purses.
Ew, I don't like that.
In addition to having to carry, your daily basics for being a female person, you got to carry your hand lotion, you got to carry your IDs, your insurance cards, your frequent shopper cards for your coffee shop down the street. You got to carry your gym membership card. You got to carry your credit cards. You got to carry your ibuprofen and emergency pads and tampons. Like, there's so much stuff that a woman has to carry on a daily basis. And the space that we have to carry our things has not kept up with what we are required to carry.
This is why humans just need to invent hammer space already.
Invent what?
Hammer space. You know how, like, Bugs Bunny can just hold a hammer? He can just pull it out and then put it back into non-existence?
Oh, cartoon
hammer
logic.
space.
Okay, so basically you want pocket dimensions in our actual pockets.
I would fucking love a pocket dimension in my pocket. Like, that would be incredible. Can you just imagine how much you could fit in there, and then everything's Gucci? I can't believe I just said Gucci, but that's relevant. Anyways, yeah, just imagine putting in your phone, your wallet, your money, and you can just pull it out again. But, like, there's nothing sticking out of your pocket. You're not getting, like, thigh cramps.
Yeah, it doesn't stab you in the pelvis every time you sit down.
Yeah. It's just a pocket dimension. It's just hammer space.
You know what? I would absolutely love that, because, like, again, girl, I got a lot of stuff that I got to carry on a daily basis. Like, my keys are twice the size of, like, everybody else's keys, because I have, like, 4 house keys. Don't at me about it. I am not taking comments on that statement. And then you got to carry your hand lotion and your ibuprofen, like 4 pens and your bus card and your whole wallet, which wallets in and of themselves are a thing. If you have ever looked at the difference in the size of a men's wallet versus a women's wallet, I can tell you 2 things. Number 1, a man's wallet can hold more stuff. Number 2, a man's wallet is also smaller. Will I use a man's wallet, though? No, because it's terrible for holding change. It doesn't have as many credit card slots as I need.
See, I don't know about that. My wallet's just fine. I have, like, 15 cards that just fit in my PlayStation wallet. And I also have just a stack of business cards that I can just slide in there whenever I want.
I have 2 separate... Oh my god. Okay, so clearly it's time for me to go wallet shopping.
You just gotta find the right wallet.
It's not. I will go wallet shopping when next I go purse shopping, and I will go purse shopping when next my purse breaks.
Who says you can't do some not accidental sabotage of your purse?
I do, because I need that. And I'm broke.
That's valid.
But yeah, so pockets have always been stupid and dumb because we let men decide them. I just did the essay. That was my conclusion.
In this essay,
mic drop. I am not gonna drop my... No, I'm not dropping my mic. I do not want to damage our poor listeners' ears.
The acoustics on that would be pretty shitty.
This is very, very true.
All right. Can I go?
You absolutely can. Hit me.
Oh, boy. Okay, this one's my favorite. I love talking about this one. I haven't really gotten a lot of chances to, but thank you to the Lost Media Wiki, because I'm going to talk about Zootopia. I'm going to talk about the original script of Zootopia.
Oh my, I've heard some things. I've watched some special features off of the Zootopia DVD on YouTube.
Yeah. The original script for Disney's Zootopia was very different from the final movies. The original script had Nick Wilde as the main character, and all predators were mandated to wear tame collars that gave any predator a shock when they acted too aggressive, quote unquote. After a visit to the doctor and having his collar off briefly for examination, Nick comes up with the idea to create Wild Times, an amusement park where predators could have their collars removed and enjoy the attractions. The final movie's protagonist, Judy Hopps, is sent to investigate and shut down the park in order to prevent possible predators from having their collars removed permanently. I love this script. I love this idea, and I kind of wish that it was in the final film. I kind of wish this was the final film. Don't get me wrong. I do like the final Zootopia. I've seen it maybe 4 times.
The final Zootopia is gorgeous and beautiful. But this does put an interesting light, even more so on that predator-prey dynamic that was so well highlighted in Zootopia.
Absolutely. I don't really care what Disney says. I mean, this is a lot darker than they're usually willing to go, but it could have paid off.
Okay, but also they produced Black Cauldron, so like, can they really say anything?
Yes, because Black Cauldron is their literal black sheep, and it's their biggest disgrace.
This is not
other
false,
than the
but
Song
it did
of the
manage
South.
to have they did manage to actually have a ride tour thing
in Tokyo, Japan.
It was in Tokyo Disneyland, yes, but Tokyo Disneyland was like the 3rd Disney park made.
Yes, but that's attracting a foreign audience instead of the main audience that they're usually going for.
This is true. This
Point
is
is,
true.
Black Cauldron sucked.
You're not wrong.
You know what? I shouldn't say that. I should not say that.
No, you should. You should definitely say that. I'm sorry, folks, but Black Cauldron was not the world's best movie.
Well, I haven't seen it, so I shouldn't be so hasty to judge.
Okay, that's okay. I'll judge. I'll judge for you. I've seen it. It's pretty bad.
All I know is that it did domestically very badly.
For a number of reasons, yes.
Well, yes, absolutely.
One of which was that it was not a good movie, and also Disney was purposely trying to kill its 2D animation.
I don't know about that. I do not know about that. Regardless, though, I just love thinking about this original Zootopia. It's just so fascinating to me.
I do believe, if I remember my YouTube videos correctly, that even though Nick was the main character, absolutely nothing about Wild World and his character was changed. He was still a con man, and Wild World was still
Wild Times.
a little sketch.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. The concept art shows it very there's like cardboard cutouts and like a rickety roller coaster, all that kind of jazz.
I think the roller coaster is the most expensive thing in there. There's a howl-along.
Yeah!
Which I think was... Oh, my God. Do you have a list of, like, what would have been...
I could pull up the Lost Media Wiki right now. Hold on.
Oh, my God. I would love to hear... I think everyone would love to hear these attractions in what is supposed to be a predator animal amusement park?
Yeah, it's an amusement park just for predators.
Right. And the idea being that they finally get to show emotion, because as I believe anything that was considered aggressive was really anything that got your heart rate up. So even just like being excited about something would shock you.
Yeah,
it was
that's
considered
the whole thing.
aggressive. It was real bad, folks. But a tasteful discussion on bias and racism was also very good. This would have been another discussion on bias and racism.
I'm just watching the video of this. I'm currently just watching Nick get rejected by all the loan applications he submitted. It's really fucking funny.
Oh yeah, because isn't it in the original film that all of the bankers were prey animals?
I think so.
All the bankers
I don't remember
were
that.
prey animals. Except for, of course, the polar bear mob boss.
Yes.
Who finally gave him money in exchange for bad stuff. Loan shark. The loan shark was a polar bear, which I think they totally missed an opportunity there. The lone shark?
I'm very sorry, but I did not hear a lot of that because I was still trying to find all the attractions. I don't think it's worth it. You go do your own research. Honestly,
there's
tons of YouTube videos.
watch the YouTube videos, because the stuff that was
Buy
in there.
Zootopia on DVD right now.
Disney, don't sue us.
They can't sue us. Why would they sue us?
Listen, Disney copyrights children singing their songs at talent shows and takes the videos down off of YouTube. Disney knows no bounds. We can say the name of their movies, and that's we can say the name of their movies. That's legal. Okay, well, Zootopia, the bonus features, extra good. Find them on the DVD.
Don't actually. Yes, you can find them on YouTube. Support the official release, though.
But if you have money and you can, just go buy the video. Zootopia is a good movie. It's not like you're wasting your money. Zootopia is good. Come on, y'all.
Zootopia is good, and this is still not a sponsored. This is still not a sponsored podcast.
Nope,
we're just shilling things.
We're just
shilling things left and right.
Oh boy. Okay. Can you imagine when we actually get sponsors? Oh boy.
This podcast is sponsored by LaCroix. Drink it and taste nothing. All right, I think that'll do us.
I think that is gonna do. I think we have run out of goof juice.
I don't think we've run out of goof juice.
I think we need to go juice some more goof fruits and replenish.
Goof fruits?
Yeah, because how else are we going to get goof juice? We got to juice the goof fruits to get the goof juice.
Cool, so I'll just put Goofy in a blender and I'll see how that goes.
No!
All right, thank you so much. All right, thank you all for joining us on this inaugural episode. Any final words?
Pancakes? Strawberries.
Strawberry pancakes, folks. Go eat some strawberry pancakes.
Blueberries.
Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for listening, and have a good evening.
Have a good night, folks.
Thank you for being out of this world.